Hello, 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 everyone. This is Gresham Harkless from CEO Chat and CEO Blog Nation. And today we had a very phenomenal guest, a very, very special guest, a friend of mine, Daviddelevante from Delevante Health Enterprises. And he spoke about mid-level marketing, why it's important, how it can help people that, might need a little extra money to pay for their mortgage or to enjoy a night out of town and with their significant other, whatever it is. He really gave some really phenomenal information that can help out any business owner. He also touched on his book, I Am Free. And then finally, he even gave some tidbits and tips for entrepreneurs and business owners that are on the go. So I really hope you guys enjoy this CEO chat. I definitely did. I had a phenomenal time talking with Dave and learning a lot more about him. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. So without further ado, enjoy this CEO chat with Daviddelevante. Hello, everyone. This is Gresham Harkless here with CEO Chat and CEO Blog Nation. And today we have an awesome guest, a close friend of mine, Daviddelevante. He's the CEO of Delevante Health Enterprises. He's done what few people have been able to do. He's built a successful business, and he's a close friend of mine. So I definitely wanted to take some time out just to kind of talk with him, chat with him, see why he's become so successful, and see what things he can help us do as entrepreneurs and business owners. So just to kind of start out, I wanted to read a little bit about Dave, tell you a little bit about who he is. Daviddelevante is a sought-after speaker, trainer, and motivator. He's the author of I Am Free. And Dave runs a hugely successful network marketing business and is grateful for the many ways in which life has changed. Prior to becoming involved in network marketing, David worked for 20 years as a naval architect. At the age of 44, David was able to quit his 20-plus year career to pursue his passion for health and financial freedom full-time. Dave and his wife, Trish, and 4 children are living the life of their dreams in Virginia. They now live in an 8,300 square foot dream home and can pursue their passions in life, such as health-related activities, taekwondo, church activities, and just time together. Through their journey, they have never lost their passion to share the benefits of a healthy lifestyle and residual income with everyone they know. So without further ado, I just want to introduce Daviddelevante from Delevante Health Enterprises.
Hey, thanks, Gresham. It's great to be here, and I consider it a privilege, so I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dave. One of the things that I wanted to do, and we always try to do anytime we get an opportunity to talk with someone, is I have something called speed round questions, or just a way for us to kind of break the ice. So I'm going to have about 5 or 6 questions that I'm just going to shoot at you. You can say the first thing that comes to your mind. So how's that sound?
Okay, man.
All right.
You got me nervous now.
All right. Don't be too nervous. All right. So very first question, where's your favorite place to visit in the world?
Yeah, that's a funny one because my wife and I always laugh about this. My favorite thing to do is go on cruises, and I really don't care where the cruise goes to because I'm really, really happy on the boat. And I used to be a naval architect, so I used to design ships. So I'm just happy not to be in the engine room. I just love being, entertained and fed, and I get to play on the ship. So wherever it takes me, I'm a happy camper.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess if you don't get off the cruise, does it still count?
Absolutely, it counts.
Okay. All right. So, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
Yeah, I guess if I was trying to impress the crowd, I would have to say spend time with my family, right? But the real answer is pool. So I just love to play pool. I used to play back in college, got really good at it, and then I didn't play for about 30 years. So I've gotten back into it, and now I play twice a week, actually. I really, really enjoy it. I've always found it very relaxing, and now I can do it. And I have a table in my basement as well, so I can practice at home. It's kind of fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've witnessed you playing a few times, and one of my goals for 2016 is to beat you. So that's on my list. All right. So, what's your favorite entrepreneur or favorite business person?
Entrepreneur, business person, I got a bunch of them, but one of my favorite people actually to kind of follow or read about or watch on blogs and that sort of thing is Brendon Burchard. I heard him speak at one of our conventions and got a very inspiring, kind of a life-changing story. And to me, I like people that are approachable, people that speak from the heart. And he is just phenomenal at kind of getting people out of their own way and helping them achieve. And not very technical, just kind of a fun guy to be around. So probably Brendon Burchard is my favorite right now.
Great, great, great. Yeah, a lot of people say, I guess when you buy products and services, you're not buying the service itself, but you're buying the person. So having
Exactly.
that magnetic personality is just huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your favorite business quotes?
Wow. That would have to be Dr. Dennis Waitley. He's one of my favorite speakers, and he speaks at every one of our conventions. And he actually wrote The Psychology of Winning, which is still today the #1 best-selling non-music tape series ever in history. Just an incredible speaker. And his quote was, "If you're not networking, you may soon be not working." It's kind of a tongue twister, but I thought it was kind of funny. If you're not networking, you may soon be not working. And it speaks the world to me because, in this fast-paced world, it's great to advertise and do that kind of stuff. But if you're not in front of people and actually networking and talking to people, you're just not going to go very far, no matter what your business is.
Very true, very true. Awesome. And then just to close everything out, favorite business book?
Hmm. I got a couple. I like Brendan Burchard's book, The Charge, but it's not really a business book as much. Well, it is, but it's more of a lifestyle book. It's really making sure that your life is charged up in all the different areas. But as far as direct sales go, I really like the book Go Pro, like Go Professional. So it's Go Pro, by a gentleman named Eric Worre, Worre, and it's a great. It's just a real education in the direct sales industry as to not treat it like a hobby, but treat it like a profession, so that you go places a lot faster.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so thank you, Dave, again. We talked a little bit. I read your bio. So
Mhm.
I talked a little bit about you. Are there any gaps or anything that maybe I didn't talk about or I didn't go over that you wanted to kind of speak to?
No, you mean kind of my backstory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you said, I was a naval architect. I was the youngest of 8 kids. I was the successful one in the family because I went to college and had that degree. And I ended up, due to some circumstances, my wife was going through some ailments, and I got into the nutrition field kind of accidentally and was doing it as a hobby. But in that process, it took me about 7 years to figure out that there's another way out there. And I believe it's the concept, if you've ever read any Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, poor dad concepts. I was the poor dad, even though I was the very successful one. I was making a 6-figure income, but I was still working week to week, just barely making it because I was being taxed to death. And I was a slave to the job. I had to ask for days off and that sort of thing. So I was kind of in a trap, but really didn't know it. And when the direct sales industry, when I started really capturing what it was all about, after about 5 years of doing it as a hobby, the world just opened up to me. And I realized that there was a different way to build income, and that was through leverage. And really, if you want to get wealthy, there's only a few ways to do it. You have to either leverage money or leverage time. But to leverage money with today's interest rates, you'd need like $5 million in the bank to get yourself a $200,000 a year income without the money depleting, right? So not very many, not a whole lot of us have $5 million in our back pocket that they can stick in the bank and get leveraged money. So therefore, we have to leverage time, and that's what direct sales does. You basically build a team of people, and you train them. But then you're making, instead of just, the most you can work, I think there's 160 something hours in a week if you didn't sleep, right? And obviously we need some sleep in there. So you might work 60 or 70 or 80 hours a week if you're really, really hungry out there and you want to go for it. But that's all you can do. You can't do any more. But if you could get maybe 80 people and train them and have them work 10 hours each, then you're getting an extra 800 hours of leverage. And that's the concept. And once I figured that out, I ended up quitting my job. I had more than doubled my day job income by the time I was with my company for about 7 years or so. And I walked away from my day job and haven't looked back since. It's been a real kind of a dream, actually.
Cool, cool, cool. I mean, that's powerful. Just the different mindset the change that you had in your mindset, and how that kind of helped you out. Because a lot of people see a way to be wealthy and to get rich is to work a certain amount of hours. But I think one of the things that people forget is that there's always a limit to kind of everything that you can do. So it's great that you were able to kind of see that and kind of build a business around that.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much you make per hour. I mean, you can be a doctor making $200 an hour, or you can be an average worker making $15 an hour. The bottom line is, if you stop working, typically you stop getting paid. For instance, when I walked away from my naval architecture job, 2 weeks later, they stopped paying me. Go figure. You think they pay me for the rest of my life, but they didn't, right? It's just not the way a linear income works. But with a more residual type income, you can actually build a legacy. And with most companies like mine, you can actually build it where it is truly a legacy. In other words, you can will it to your children. So the money that I'm earning now, that residual income that I've built up, continues on past my wife, past myself, onto my kids. Very important.
Yeah, that's definitely something that people don't sometimes even think about. Not just enjoying the fruits of your labor for your lifetime, but also being able to pass that on
Yeah.
to your family and your children. So, and their children,
Yeah.
children. Yeah. Okay. So, you talked a little bit about kind of like, of course, like you starting your business. So, what exactly is your business? What do you do? And how can that kind of help us?
Well, the parent company, my company is called Delevante Health Enterprises, but the parent company is called USANA Health Sciences, and they manufacture. They're an FDA drug registered facility that manufactures supplements. Things you've heard of before: multivitamins and fish oil and calcium products and joint pain products and things like that. Stuff that the average person would probably go to a health food store or a GNC to get. And this is just a higher quality out there. In fact, we were on the Dr. Oz show just last week. They were featuring a gentleman named Dr. Lyle McWilliam, who wrote a book called A Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements. And he was showing or talking about USANA as the highest rated company in North America. It's really impressive. So that's the kind of the products that they produce. And they also have weight management products. We have a 5-day reset program, and then we have other weight management shakes and bars. And we even have a pharmaceutical grade skincare system that actually has 2 patents on it for a self-preserving technology. So there's no preservatives in it, very clean formula. So really high quality stuff, all consumable. And what I do is, in the direct sales industry, when I first started, it's kind of funny, all I know was my wife's health, her quality of life improved dramatically. She'd been dealing with some fatigue issues for over a decade. And all of a sudden, within 90 days, her quality of life improved. She's able to go dancing again and do choreography. She likes to do like worship dance choreography and things like that. So it just gave her life back as far as I was concerned. And then the business of it kind of came along years later, because for 5 years I sort of did it just as a hobby. And I would have neighbors or friends or something say, well, I've got a kid and I would love to have him on some supplements. And, they would see some quality of life improvements. And this went on and on and on. And I could tell you hundreds and hundreds of stories, but it kind of gets under your skin. You realize, wow, I can really help people and really show them a much higher quality product than they're used to, and potentially give them a business also. So it took me about 5 years to realize, hey, you know what? It's okay to share the business side of this as well as the product side of this. And that's when I really set a goal, and I felt like God kind of gave me a kind of a mission, and this became more of a ministry to me and a mission for me than just a job or a hobby. And I said, within 2 years, I'm going to quit my job. And it was actually 2 years to the day. It was January 5th of 05 that I quit. And what I did was I simply transitioned to owning it, to really deciding that, wow, this is viable for me, and it's a way for me to quit my job. And people would ask me, how's that vitamin business going? And I'd say, well, it's going great. I'm going to be leaving my job in 14 more months or 13 more. I would count it down, and it almost became self-fulfilling because I was that sure that it was going to happen. And people don't buy your product and they don't buy your business. They're really buying you. And more than that, even, they're buying your vision. They're buying where you're going. Okay? And so what you need to do in this business, and it's the most fundamental lesson that I think I've learned, is you need to link your vision to their vision. So let's say I'm talking to you, Gresham, and you say, well, I'm not married, I don't have any kids right now, but, I would love to, let's say I have a house, but it's upside down now because of this crazy economy that we have right here. I would love to pay off my house. So I said, well, that's a great goal. So I say, Gresham, this is what I did. I started this business because I wanted to get out of my commute and I wanted to spend more time with my kids. And I was able to do that. I was able to go to every one of my kids' soccer games and dance recitals and everything else. Now, I know you don't have kids, but your goal is to pay off that mortgage really fast. So let's sit down, have some coffee, and let's talk about maybe how we can team up together so that we can, so both of our goals can be met. And people go, wow, teamwork, meeting goals, getting me where I want to get. This guy really cares about me, and you're providing solutions. And as soon as I saw myself as a provider of solutions instead of a salesperson, the business just rocketed. And it was mainly because I knew where I was going, And people lean forward. If you say, this is where I'm going, I plan on making this much money, or I plan on doing this, I plan on quitting my job in 12 months. They're like, wow, well, let's sit down. I want to know more about that. And that excitement is contagious. So I did that from '03 to '05. And by '05, as I said, I'd more than doubled my day job income. And I walked away from my job. People say, "Oh, you retired?" I'm like, "Not retire. I quit." There's a big difference when you retire. It's like you go to another job, or you do, especially in the Washington D.C. environment. Like, no, I just quit. So now this is my home. I work from home, and like I said, I have time that I can spend with my wife, spend with my kids, go to all their events and that sort of thing. So it's been, like I said, it's been a dream, and my goal now is to show that to other people and let them understand. And that was one of the reasons for writing the book, was to give people kind of a vision for the possibilities that are out there.
Awesome. There's a lot of great gems that you gave us, Dave. I think one of the big things that I've read, for a lot of successful people, is that they start to become, as you said, solution oriented. And once you have that mentality, it makes a huge difference in people's lives, because it's not necessarily about, looking for problems or things like that. You're always looking to help people, because there are issues and there's problems all around. But once you have that solution oriented mindset, it really changes. It can change your life, so to speak.
Exactly.
So, of course, I know you touched on one of the solutions that you provided was your book, which I know is a great way for you to kind of get your message out, and some of the ways that you've been able to be successful. So could you tell us a little bit more about your book, and kind of like what led you to write it and what you kind of learned from it?
Yeah. The book's called I Am Free. And it's referring to being free from the day job, or free from that linear income source, and moving on to a residual income source. But the reason I love it, that's what it looks like right there. And it's actually free. I made it available on both Kindle and on iTunes. So, and if you go, you can put the links up there. I'm sure you know all that techie stuff. But if you just go to kindle.daviddelevante.com, it takes you right to the Amazon site. If you go to iTunes.daviddelevante.com, it's going to take you right to the iTunes bookstore. And it's a short read, but at the end of each chapter, and it's a fictional novel, but it actually tells my story. So I changed the name of the company, and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't mention USANA, it doesn't mention my old company or anything like that. But it just kind of gives people hope. And it's a story of someone that's brand new to the concept of direct sales, because most people don't know what it is. So they're new to the concept, and they want to know more. So the book walks them through chapter by chapter, and at the end it has a place for notes and kind of little homework that they can do. And it walks them through my story in a fictional form. And at the end of it, the guy, Dan, walks away from his job and drives off into the sunset with his wife and his kids and that sort of thing. So it kind of gives hope, but it gives strategies along the way. So the goal is for the book not just to be just a fun little quick read novel, but the book is a tool to be used. You can use it in two ways. One of them would be if you're already in direct sales. If you know anyone in direct sales, and they don't have to be in USANA. There's plenty of wealth around there for everybody. So if they're doing a Mary Kay business, or they're doing some other company, whatever, use the book as a tool for your team. It's free. Let them get on Amazon, or the Kindle version, or the iTunes version, and read through it as a tool for people that are already in some kind of direct sales. But you can also use it. I use it as a tool when I'm prospecting. If I'm talking to someone about the possibility of a business, they're like, gee, I don't even know if I could do that. I have a day job already. Then I give them the book to read. It's a real quick one-day read. And they kind of go, wow, there's some possibilities there. It just happened to me this week. I'm actually meeting with someone tomorrow night, husband and wife, that actually just read the book and said, wow, I was impressed by that. It gave me some thoughts of possibilities that I didn't know were there. And that's really the goal of the book.
Awesome. Yeah, and I definitely I have the Kindle version, so I have it on my phone and everything. So it doesn't smell as good, but I definitely think that reading the book, I learned a lot about kind of, of course, your story. Not knowing it was you, but just it's a really quick read and a great opportunity to learn a lot about kind of direct sales and kind of like how you can be successful with it and how you were successful. So I guess one of the next questions I have is, what exactly is direct sales? I know we talked about it a couple of times. I've heard of direct sales, mid-level marketing. How would you define it, and how do you kind of think people can benefit from it?
Yeah, it goes by a bunch of different things: relationship marketing, multi-level marketing, direct sales, network I got all kinds of names. The bottom line is, it means that the products are sold directly to the people. Okay, so for instance, what I do is I tell you, you tell me you have some joint pain issues, and I say, hey, you know what? We have this product. It's got some glucosamine in it. It's got some Mariva, which is a patented version of turmeric. It's a good anti-inflammatory. This might work for your knee pain, let's say. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a site, my website, and you're going to go and you're going to order those products direct. That's why it's called direct sales to you. I don't actually give them to you, and I don't have a storefront. Right? And we also have no advertising. We are the advertisers. So, we all see, I went out and saw Star Wars, and then I told 10 of my friends to go see Star Wars, and they went and saw it too, and they paid $15 each a ticket. But Star Wars didn't pay me a commission for recommending that. You'd think George Lucas, or I guess now it's Disney, would come and give you money, but they don't. But direct sales, they do. They give you money for recommending products or services that you're using already. That's in its simplest form. There's lots of different versions of pay plans. USANA Health Sciences happens to be, we're the highest payout percentage of any profitable reporting company in the US. So I consider our pay plan the absolute best out there. But there's lots of different ways that they pay. But the bottom line is it's getting a product directly to a person without advertising. And it also it affords them the opportunity, if they want to become a distributor themselves. Now with USANA, our products are the same price whether you're a customer or a distributor, which I love. What it means is we don't force you to be a distributor. We would love for you to be a very happy customer. We give you a discount if you're ordering regularly, and you get these wonderful products and they just get shipped to you. But if someone wants to be a distributor, they can be a distributor. And what ends up happening is they get rewarded based on the people that they recommend. If those people order and get some sales in, they get paid as well. So it's a beautiful system without any advertising of getting the word out there about an exceptional product. And people will say, sometimes they'll say, well, why don't you just put like your essentials? Why don't you just put it on a store shelf instead of just selling it through direct sales? And the reason is you cannot possibly in a 30-second soundbite or a commercial really explain how much better USANA is than a standard store brand type product. It really requires someone to talk about it a little bit. So that's what they do. Instead of paying an advertiser to put a 30-second blip out there to try to get you to buy something, instead they have us talk about it in depth, because this is a very high-end product. It's a product that could potentially be life-changing for people, and you don't want to have to sit it on the store shelf next to one of the, I won't say the brand name, but everything from A to Z type product that sits on the store shelves. You want to make sure you're getting a good quality product, and we get paid very well to talk about it. That's the bottom line.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. And so I guess you have done and been successful in a way that most people have not. So I've heard of people that have done network marketing, done mid-level marketing, but what do you think is your quote unquote secret sauce? What has made you successful? How did you how were you able to just get it done in the 2 years? So could you talk a little bit through your process and how you were able to kind of reach that goal?
Absolutely. It's kind of funny actually, because I'm pretty good right now. Here's the deal. You can make a little bit of money in direct sales by learning a product. Just learn what the products are and say, hey Bob, this might work for you. Try this product, right? You can make some money there. You can make a lot of money if you learn the business side of it as well and tell people about the business. Say, hey, this could be a good opportunity for you. Let me train, let me get you in the business. We'll make some money together. That's awesome too. But you can make a boatload of money, a whole bunch of money, if you can duplicate the process, if you can train those people. So that's where the real money is. There's money in talking about the products. There's even more money in talking about the business, but there's a lot more money if you can duplicate. That's the whole idea of leverage, is getting a whole bunch of people to do the same thing. Well, the way I train, because that's what a lot of what I do now, is I just teach people not to do what I did the first 5 years, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I'm pretty good at training people because I know what not to do. So you can learn from my mistakes instead of trying to learn on your own. That at the end of that 5-year period was when I had that revelation of, this is a big business. This is a professional. That's why I like the book GoPro. This is a profession. It's not a hobby, and I can really knock this out of the park and retire if I put my mind to it. And it was, so the first thing is that vision has to be, you have to have a strong why. You have to know exactly what it is you want. Not, I want to make 60K this year, but why? I want to make 60K so that I can be out of that job so I can be at my kids' soccer games. That's a why. Or I want to be able to say that I'm completely debt-free. So if my church happens to, they plant churches all around the world. If my church, and I felt called to go somewhere, I could be debt-free and actually go. That's a why. These are whys that you can really, that are in your gut. not just in your head. So you need a why. The second thing is, I heard it said, work on yourself first, and then your business. You cannot make more money in direct sales unless you become a better person, which is a beautiful side effect of a business. I mean, yay, we get healthy, yay, we get wealthy, but also we develop wonderful relationships. And again, you can't get better at this without bettering yourself. So really work on yourself. And another good word of advice, it's going to sound kind of funny, but I heard someone say that you should build it fast because it's too painful to build it slow. What that means is there's momentum here. When you talk to a few people and they say yes and they sign up for the products, that's momentum. So then get on the phone right away, use that energy, that momentum, and call 10 more people and say, hey, guess what? I got a couple more customers here. I'd love for you to be my third for today. And you work that way. And you do the same thing with business partners. You say, hey, we got momentum going here. Build fast. It's so much fun to build fast, and it's painful to build slow. So the idea is, if you're going to work, let's say you can only, and it doesn't take a lot of hours, by the way. I believe strongly that you can build this up to a full-time income in just 5 or 10 hours max a week. It doesn't take a lot. The fastest I built my business was in the 2 years where I was the busiest at work, at my day job. Okay, and I was squeezing it into nooks and crannies because busy people get stuff done. All right, that's the bottom line. So if it's only an hour or 5 hours a week, let's say, do it an hour a day. Just keep the momentum up. Do it an hour a day. If you got 10 hours, do 2 hours a day. Just keep that momentum up and build, because there's a lot of, you think about it, if you're going to make a phone call to someone while your energy's up, make the second phone call. Don't pace around the house for an hour and then your energy's back down again. Then you got to psych yourself back up again. Just go for it. And a lot of these lessons are in the book, by the way, as you read through them. But that's probably the best 3 I could give you right now. And it becomes it's a business of the heart. There's a lot of other skills that you learn. You learn how to listen. You learn how to ask the right questions. You learn how, again, it's a close, but it's really not a hard close. It's not a sale. It's just laying out the possibilities and allowing the person to choose. And that's all stuff that just comes with time. And what I provide for all of my clients, and I'll tell you, if you're doing another network marketing company and you love it, stick with it. And the network marketing business is big enough for everyone. There's lots of businesses out there. There's plenty of people for all of them. If you are going to do USANA, what I do with people is I work one-on-one with them, and I work with the ones that want it. Everybody needs it, but the people that want it are going to show you. So they're going to work an hour. I tell people, you work an hour, I'll work an hour with you every single time. So I put the effort in, because there's a few reasons why people fail at network marketing. Either maybe the product wasn't good. Usually that's not the case though. Or the company is too young and it just folds. USANA's, we're 20-something years old and we're publicly traded and debt-free, so we're not going anywhere except up. But the third reason, the main reason why people fail, is they don't have that support. They feel kind of orphaned. So I work very, very strongly with my people to make sure that they're supported all the way. And the concept is, you're in business by yourself or for yourself, but not by yourself. So it's your business. You can build it any way you want to, as long as you're doing it legally and ethically and according to the guidelines. But we're there the whole time to support you, and that's really that's what makes it a team effort. Kind of what makes it fun, really.
That makes sense. I think that one of the great things about network marketing is that you have that community feel, because I know starting and building a business, one of the most difficult things is you kind of by yourself. So there's always that kind of loneliness that comes with being an entrepreneur or business owner. So it's great that network marketing provides that opportunity to build that connection in those relationships.
Exactly. So.
Okay, cool. So I guess one of the next questions I have is, obviously our audience is a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners who are on the go all the time. So from your standpoint, what advice would you give to someone that is a on the go, doesn't have a lot of time type of person to be successful and to make sure that they take care of their health?
Well, obviously, I recommend everyone get on a really good multivitamin, a good fish oil product. It's very, very important. And some kind of anti-inflammatory, like a grape seed or things like that. And USANA has all those products. I recommend, and you can go on my blog, but I recommend a low glycemic diet. Low glycemic diet is basically just going to keep your energy level up instead of getting those rises and crashes and that sort of thing. And on the business side, I just, people that are busy, they tend to get very, very focused. So it doesn't matter how busy you are. If you're really real busy, you can always carve out a little bit of time. I have one lady that's building her business very quickly right now, and she works a serious 9 to 5 where, I mean, the bosses are over her. She cannot escape. So she gets away for 20 minutes at lunchtime, and she makes phone calls. And she makes some phone calls on her way to pick up her daughter. She's a single mom also. I mean, talk about a busy lifestyle, and she can build her business in that. So take care of your health first, obviously. But as far as the business goes, doesn't have to be a lot of hours. It just has to be focused time. And as long as you're willing to focus, and as long as that why is driving you, there's absolutely nothing holding you back.
Wow, that's powerful. I definitely think that a lot of people look at how many hours you have to put in, but like you say, it's how you use that specific time. So it could be an hour, it could be 10 hours, but if you're not using it, you're not being efficient. You're not, like you said, using that positive energy when you make a phone call and you get a sale and you keep going and going, then you may not be able to continue to leverage that time, like you said.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So I know you talked a little bit about, your network marketing and anything, and also about how we can kind of be healthy. Is there any other advice or tidbits or information that you kind of want to give to our audience?
Well, I could talk for a long time, but and I mentioned it just briefly a second ago, but the business is way more about listening than talking. And because what happens is, for instance, with Usana, you get so excited about these products because they work and they're great and they're the best and all that kind of stuff, But the problem is, you get so excited about it, you just start talking about it. You start talking about our founder and this is this and this, that. And people may not be interested in the products right then. They may be interested in the business, or they may be interested in weight loss and you're talking about joint pain or whatever. The whole concept is listening, and listening almost to a fault. Like, listen, and even when they give you something, it's like fishing, when you first get the nibble, wait and listen more and ask deeper questions, because everyone's hurting in the world, right? And everyone, no matter what, you go to church and everyone's dressed up nice and high-fiving each other and everyone hugging each other. Everyone's hurting. Everyone has something going on in their heart. Everyone, whether it's a financial issue, it's a relational issue, whatever it is, a health issue, and you have to dig a little bit to get that. So don't be afraid to sit back and dig just a little bit more, and listen to what people are saying, and then gently give them a possible answer, and just say, hey, you know what? I remember last week, like a grocery store clerk, you chat with them every week, and she mentions her kid's asthma. Don't jump on her about her kid's asthma. Come back next week and say, hey, you know what? You mentioned last week your child had some issues. I'd love to sit down with you. I've been thinking about you all week and praying for you. I'd love to sit down with you and maybe at a Starbucks or something like that, and let me go over some things that might help. I have some dietary stuff that might help. I have some supplements that might help. Let's just sit down and talk. It's a gentle invite, and people want to be cared about. So if people feel cared about, they're going to listen to you more. So the art of listening, that's a whole nother training that could take about an hour, but the art of listening and asking the right questions is probably the most important thing you can do in network marketing.
Cool. So I can't say how true that is, because often people will tell you, I guess, what their pain point is if you just listen. But I know in previous jobs that I've had and opportunities that I've had, once you get all the information, you're ready to just go and kind of what they say, you just kind of throw up of information where you just say everything that you can think of about the product and services, because you think it's so great. But really, a lot of it is building that relationship, building those connections, listening to what people's pain points are, and like you say, trying to solve that problem that they're presenting to you.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So Dave, one of the things that we try to do is we always want to have like an action plan of what our next step could be. So could you explain how we can get in touch with you and what you would recommend us doing as the next step?
Yeah, I'm all about conversation. I'm all about relationship. So you can email me. Feel free to put my email address on there. It's just daviddelevante@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. But feel free to put links to that. Also, I have a free health assessment. If you email me, I'll send you a link to a free health assessment. You can take it online, and it'll email you 3 reports, which is very, very helpful. I believe in providing a service to people. If you provide service to people, then they're going to come back and ask for more. Basically, that's the idea here. So feel free to email me. That's the best way, daviddelevante@gmail.com. Feel free to text me or call me. It's 703-928-1116. And ask me your questions. I mean, like I said, I'm about talking. And you can put the links, Gresham, to the books, either the Kindle version or the iTunes version. That's just a gift. That's just a give back kind of to the network marketing community. But I want to talk, and I want to. If you're in a network marketing company already and you're happy, that's fine. You just need some advice. We can chat. Or if you're looking and you're entrepreneurial and you're thinking, hey, I'm not sure. Maybe this is for me, but I don't know if I can do it. Let's chat. And maybe it's not for you, but it could be, and it could be the answer to whatever the next step is in your life. It could be that fork in the road, and maybe that's the reason why you're listening to this webcast right now. So hopefully that's a good help for you.
Thank you, Dave, again. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Great information, loads and loads of information, and action points that we need to take to kind of move forward in our lives. So I appreciate you again, and you have a great rest of the day.
Hey, bless you, Gresham. Thank you. Appreciate it.